creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
The name of the movie is Stonewall. What do you think, folks?
If Lady Gaga exists,
Taking these offside and punch her in the face and say, bro, just letting you know.
then what happened to Sir Google?
My man, he cannot keep getting away with this.
When they
Was this off the dome? No, hey, I'm just mesmerized by, how good it is.
economy is going down, when the economy isn't doing well, that is when some of the great companies took off. Some of the great companies were born. And there's so many examples of this. So there are always opportunities in the adversity. But are we focusing on the problem? Are we focusing on all the things that aren't going right? Are we complaining? Is that where we're stuck?
Ooh.
Or are we actually looking for the opportunities? Are we looking for the silver linings? Because they are there. But it's up to us to find them. So when I say we are limiting ourselves, that's always what we do. We limit ourselves up here because we believe, oh, it's a tough time, therefore the business is going to go down, therefore things aren't going to go so well. But these are just beliefs that we carry. And of course, whatever we believe, that's the way life unfolds. So we need to take a look at our beliefs, our psychology, our mindset, and perhaps make a few tweaks there. And not just think, oh, we're facing problems, therefore everything's difficult. Rather look like, yeah, okay, there are some serious challenges, but how am I limiting myself? How am I limiting my department? How are we limiting where Umoyo can go during this time? What are the silver linings? Where are the opportunities? Where can we find those and take advantage of those?
Okay. Wow, I just feel the shift. She just gave me a different perspective about life.
Okay, breaking news. The former CEO of clothing company Abercrombie & Fitch has just been arrested and is now facing charges of sex trafficking. Here we go again. So, along with Mike Jeffries, his partner and their associate was arrested this morning following an FBI investigation into allegations that they lured young, attractive men in under the guise of making them an Abercrombie model. But instead, they allegedly forced them to take drugs and perform sex acts at the events they hosted in their New York residence and hotels around the world. It also accuses Abercrombie & Fitch as the brand of having funded a sex trafficking operation led by its former CEO over the staggering 2 decades that he was in charge. As we know more, I'll keep you updated.
You know, at this point, it seems like this is just something you get into once you're ultra wealthy.
Hello. Yes. Can I look at your?
God, he loves you.
Can I look at your eyes?
He loves you so much. I actually think he's in love with you.
I'm in love with him.
I think he's in love with you.
Can I look at you? Let me just look at your
Let
face.
me look at you.
Has he grown? Have they grown, darling?
A little bit.
Aww. My toxic trait is thinking I can't do this with any lion.
It's a stunning sight. Thousands of packages stolen right off of trains. If your UPS or Amazon package hasn't arrived, it might be somewhere here in this mess, discarded on a Union Pacific Railroad track near downtown LA. As freight trains slow down or come to a halt, the thieves leap on board with bolt cutters, open giant containers, and take whatever they
That's
want.
crazy.
This is what they leave behind. All these boxes, some empty, some not. Look, this box was full of COVID home testing kits, a precious product tough to buy at many pharmacies. This bag held a bunch of UPS packages bound for homes across America. This Amazon envelope wasn't even opened. The thieves just tossed it away. Some of these boxes contained retail goods bound for America's empty store shelves. While criminals are being caught and arrested, charges are reduced to a misdemeanor or petty offense, and the person is back on the streets in less than 24 hours after paying a nominal fine. In fact, criminals boast to our officers that there is no consequence. And the 21st century version of the Great Train Robbery goes on and on.
What country is this?
This is the exact moment a father shot and killed a guy on live television. On Friday, March 16, 1984, Jeff Doucet, a karate instructor, was set to face trial after he kidnapped his 11-year-old karate student and he took him 2,000 miles away from Louisiana to a motel in California where he would begin assaulting the boy for a month straight. The authorities eventually tracked Doucet down and arrested him. During his interrogation, Doucet admitted to assaulting multiple children over the years. With his confession, the police prepared to transfer him back to Louisiana to face trial. And as Doucet was being escorted through the airport, news cameras were rolling. A camera here, a camera there, a camera there. And guys, among the crowd was the 11-year-old's father who was waiting in disguise. He was wearing a baseball cap and some sunglasses. The moment Doucet came into view, the father stepped forward, pulled out a gun, and shot Doucet in the head at point-blank range. The entire incident was broadcasted on live television. Doucet was then rushed to the hospital but died the next day from his injuries. The father was then immediately tackled and arrested. He was then put on trial for second-degree murder. The judge then concluded that Gary, the father of the 11-year-old boy, was not a threat to society, and Gary never served any time in prison.
No prison? Finally, a good judge.
Was one time a group of workers who appeared to be working a most extreme shift pattern that I've ever seen, which was 31 days non-stop working with 1 day off, and then 31 days on, 1 day off. They just begged for help. Please help, because they were exhausted. There was actually someone who said that 2 of their colleagues had died on the job through lack of sleep, long working hours, and just the stress of having to continue producing oil, and it killed them. So there was these 2 tracks really: exploitation of people and local environment, exploitation of the planet wholesale. So Shell in particular and others have been extracting oil and gas in the Niger Delta for over 70 years. When they arrived, it was paradise, and now it's hell on earth. And when I first arrived, there'd actually been a pretty big incident just outside Nigeria on the coast, so an offshore oil production vessel, which had had a spill that produced a slick the size of Belgium, So if you go and look at a map and see the size of Belgium, that's a massive oil spill. And what happens is, because it was very coastal, that oil was just washing up on the shore, going up the Niger Delta rivers, into people's lands, affecting their livelihoods, affecting their health, affecting their ability to fish and farm, or even have any hope of clean water. It didn't make the news. It made the news so little that when I started working with that operation, I didn't even know that that had happened.
You know, the fact that he has to cover his face and obscure his voice just to keep himself safe is insane.
Okay, guys, walking outside to take the trash out would blow your mind if you saw this. Why is there a giant just walking around in the middle of the night? Why is he there? He, she. Do you see it? I know I ain't tripping. But what would you do? You walk outside to take your trash out and you see this just, roaming around late at night. What you think? Let me know.
Baby, I thought that was Jay-Z.
A girl predicted Liam Payne's death from One Direction.
The One Direction?
Yeah, did you see this video?
Nah.
Oh my gosh, bro. R.I.P. Liam. She dropped this video like a day or two before it happened. And she was so dead ass about it, right? Wow. Listen, just listen.
Direction theory is that one day we will have a reunion and it's going to be 4 out of 5, except instead of the Zayn being gone, it's going to be Liam being gone. So we're going to have a 4 for 4. My only confirmation on this is that it's 444 right now.
So she dropped that 2 days before, right? And I was looking through the comments. What made you say this? She's like, oh, that's just the voices in my head telling me.
What the?
Yeah, I'm like, what the oh
Wait, so she predicted that and then just said it nonchalant like that?
Nonchalant. 2 days before. Hold on, let me see if I still have the... It was crazy because it's like, yo, there's FBI behind you, bro. Like, watch out. Why are you saying that 2 days before it happened?
Damn.
R.I.P. Liam, bro. Like, yeah.
That's... I think there's some people gifted though. I feel like there's some people that
or
that
like are just
gifted.
messengers, like
Something like that.
Yeah.
I feel there's certain people that can...
Oh, because there was another show that I was...
She didn't predict his death exactly, though. She just said he wouldn't be in the reunion.
BBC understands that the former CEO of fashion giant Abercrombie and Fitch, Mike Jeffries, and his British partner Matthew Smith are facing criminal charges of sex trafficking. They had previously denied allegations of wrongdoing. The FBI opened an investigation last year after the BBC revealed claims that Mike Jeffries and his partner sexually exploited and abused men at events that they hosted in their New York residences and hotels around the world.
You mean the guy that said he didn't want fatties wearing Abercrombie? The guy is a garbage human being? Who could have predicted that?
American YouTuber has been kidnapped from a remote Philippines village by machine gun wielding men dressed in black, months after moving to the community.
My life is at risk a little bit here, for sure.
26-year-old Elliot Eastman had been sharing his life online since moving to the southern Philippines and marrying a local Muslim woman in Cebuco. The Vermont native was at home with his wife on Thursday evening when 4 armed men pretending to be police burst through the door. They allegedly shot Eastman in the leg before whisking him away in a speedboat off the coast of Zamboanga del Norte, one of the most dangerous parts of the country, according to local authorities. Authorities still have not received proof of life or contact from the abductors, with the FBI launching an investigation into the abduction. Former Cebuco mayor said the kidnappers may have targeted the YouTuber because they thought he was a wealthy foreigner.
The province is called Mindanao and is notorious known for kidnapping people by an armed group. They even kidnap Indonesian tourists in Malaysia and bring it there because it's close by. And you're white, bro. You know definitely the risk. I hope you're okay. I hope you're back in one piece because I heard this group is savage.
More than 1,000 people may have been secretly filmed by hidden cameras on a Royal Caribbean cruise. A new lawsuit is seeking damages for passengers on the Symphony of the Seas who were unknowingly photographed and filmed by their room attendant while undressed and engaged in private activities. It comes just months after former employee Arvin Joseph Mirasol was sentenced to 30 years in prison after pleading guilty to producing child pornography. Mirasol allegedly claimed he wanted to control it but can't. The passenger who filed the lawsuit said she suffered severe emotional distress after discovering she was photographed. A spokesperson for Royal Caribbean told USA Today, "The safety and privacy of our guests is our highest priority, and we have zero tolerance for this behavior."
Once again, when you talk about aura, you better speak on this bear. This is the boss. That's his name, no relation. He's a 700-pound walking boulder of a bear and an anime plot device in a grizzly's body. The boss has been recorded catching, murking, and eating multiple black bears.
What?
In fact, one of the first times he was ever seen was next to an expired bear, and officials had to close down the trail until the boss was done eating it. At one point, the boss hit a train and was tragically put down. The train, I mean. Oh, you didn't hear me. I said the bear hit the train. Boss ate that like it was nothing. He even shows up to the same tracks just to eat the animals that weren't strong enough to survive what he walked off. As mentioned, Boss was roughly the size of 2 prime shacks. As a whole plus-size predator, he was and is the biggest bear in the area, and it's believed he fathered more than 70% of all the bears in the area code. Mind you, he's believed to be up to 27 years old. Hey, twins, when the average male grizzly bear lives to 25. Which means Father Time getting jumped. This bear on a LeBron type of run. And you know a bear that survived a literal train barely second guesses cars, and the boss regularly crosses high-speed highways. It's anime plot armor with predatory hardware. The boss even has his own antagonist. That would be this guy, Split Lip. They've been running fades for years and they've been in the same area for 15, so this beef may have marinated for over a decade. But I don't think Boss has taken an L yet. Boss from Banff better put some respect on the OG.
Yeah.
Original Grizzly.
Remember we were talking about the conspiracy around the hurricane stuff?
Yep.
Yes. Literally after we stopped filming it, I saw like 10 or so posts talking about this area in North Carolina that is one of the world's largest deposits of lithium.
Oh gosh.
And it's in a residential zone.
Yeah, you can't mine it.
And they've gone to these people supposedly and said, we'd like to purchase your land. And they all refused.
Are you kidding me?
And now that exact same spot is
wiped out. This is Maui all over again.
It's lithium rich in this area that was wiped out.
And so now we have to keep an eye on that area because what the flip are they going to do there, dude?
But yeah, people won't be able to afford to rebuild. So if someone can come in and cover like the remaining mortgage, families will go somewhere else and start over, leaving the land behind.
How many coincidences before it's mathematically impossible to be a coincidence?
Buy designer watches.
I like that guy.
Armani, Gucci, Boss, Burberry, Versace. These may all be brands that are highly respected in the fashion world, and many people wear them in order to obtain some of their prestige. However, if you buy watches from these brands, all you do is showing you have no understanding of watches and that branding is more important to you than quality. Watches from these brands are simply trash. They may look nice, but in fact they are cheaply produced, almost all of them are battery operated and are basically worth nothing after a few weeks.
Clarify, battery operation doesn't mean a watch is really bad. There's a lot of good and incredibly battery operated watches made by incredible brands like François Bonjour or even the Aquanaut, the ladies Aquanaut, some of which were battery powered. The Rolex Oyster Quartz in the 70s and 80s, even in the 90s.
You're paying exclusively for the name on the dial and getting absolutely nothing in return.
That watch, what you see here is a Versace watch. There's no usage of precious metals in this watch. That watch in a factory in China is probably costing about $12. It says Swiss Movement, Swiss Quartz. Don't believe that is worth anything more than $25 all in. And they sell it probably for 300, 400 quid. Don't buy a watch in the same shop where you can buy clothes.
Still prefer Casio watches.
Yesterday, Egypt was officially declared malaria-free after nearly 100 years of working to try and stamp out this disease. I mean, that is the kind of news we should all be making a big deal about. The historic achievement was announced yesterday by the World Health Organization by saying malaria is as old as Egyptian civilization itself, but the disease that plagued the pharaohs now belongs to its history and not its future. Globally, only 44 countries have achieved this milestone.
My mother had it a few years back. My nephew had it twice in the same year. Congratulations, Egypt.
كيف حالك؟ ليش هيك حامل اخوك؟
انت عصبني من
طيب وين مودياها؟
بدي اروح عرشتنا.
وانت مش تعبانه وانت حاملاها هيك؟ تعبانه ولا لا؟
تعبان ولسه بحملها مش قادرة.
وين رايحه انت هالليل؟
انا رايحه منتزه البريج.
في المنتزه البريج؟
اه.
طب تعال اخذك معايا. يلا اطلع بدي اخذها معايا. بتحبي اختك عشان حملاكي كانت؟ طلع عليا. يلا مع السلامة.
A baby carrying a baby? God, please protect them.
Okay. Alright.
Kaya mo yan, Will.
Kaya mo yan.
I feel weak. I regret it. I regret it. I regret it. I regret it.
Okay, stop.
It's too late now.
Woohoo! Happy birthday, Will. See you later.
No, 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 no. I'm scared. I'm scared.
No, no.
Okay.
Okay, bro, you can do it.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to lean back.
Lean back.
Yeah, a little bit. Just don't move, just lean.
Okay, and you'll be on my feet. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
He's stepping on his shoes, man.
More. More. Yep.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, you can do it, bro. So you move back to yeah. Lean back up.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't.
Okay. Kaya ba yan? Yeah, konti pa. Yeah. Straight body lang, ha? Here we go! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
I'm alive. You know, I don't care how high it is. There is no way you're stepping on my shoe. But you know, the best thing about this stuff, you don't actually have to do it. Oh, look at how happy the dog. Oh. It warmed my heart.
This Bible verse that just brings me peace. It's so beautiful. Whenever I'm anxious, I just go to it. Isaiah 46 verse 4. It says, I have made you. I will carry you. I will sustain you. And I will rescue you. Just, wow. Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. Indeed, Isaiah 46:4. I have made you, I will carry you, I will sustain you, and I will rescue you.
You can make me laugh.
This
You
guy
owe me
again.
dinner.
So you
Where are we going to eat?
He owes all of us dinner now.
Which means, come here.
Bro like meh, and the cat like nah.
Будешь с территорией разбираться. Жилец давай. Еще большой.
Whoa. What's that sound?
Он был большой, да?
Мальчик ты мой. За зиму вырос.
Ну-ка поставь ему стойку, как на выставке. О! Он уже сам, смотри как. Ух ты, молодец. Молодец.
Вот, ты за яйца только мамки там потрогал, да?
Красавец.
Man.
Все, большой, большой. Все, мне надо убирать. Да.
Women in West Africa have been turning shea nuts into butter for centuries. They first wash the seeds and let them dry for a week. They crack the nuts into smaller pieces with a brick. Then roast them over an open fire until they become fragrant. She grinds the shea nut pieces by hand. It's all hands on deck when it comes to mixing the shea paste. They do this for 1 hour to get the right consistency. Water activates the butter. Slowly, it separates and floats to the top. Acuna melts the butter in another fire. The shea oil will cool and be sold as unrefined butter.
Ooh. Now I have a question. What's the difference between the white and yellow shay?
This right here is a $15,000 abandoned Japanese farm. And we just bought it.
Abandoned? Oh no.
Let's take a tour of this crazy project just 1 hour away from Tokyo, right by the beach in Kujukuri, Chiba. This farm features 11 rooms and a 250 square meter house, plus a 2,500 square meter garden where you can hear the waves. Location and potential of this place is phenomenal. Now the crazy part is
Everything is left as is.
by the previous owners. When I say everything, I mean everything. Some old rare Suntory whiskey, about 20 stuffed animals, loads and loads of TV games and Pokemon cards, as well as loads and loads of anime related stuff, about 500 kimonos, a lot of toys, and here we have an unopened safe. Someone knows how to open this, please let me know in the comments. This is what 9 years abandoned plus a minor water leak in the kitchen smells like. Worst part is we can't start the renovation and actually see what we bought until we've cleaned out all these treasures. Some of these things are probably worth a lot, but I don't know where to start. If you have any idea, tag a friend or
Let me know in the comments.
Should we tell them, folks?
Gooey white foam is about to become the core of one of the most expensive mattresses you can buy. It's made from natural latex, harvested by hand from rubber trees in Guatemala. Every week, about 40 tons of liquid latex foam moves from the processing facility to the mattress core factory. They need about 50 kilos of liquid latex to make one 30-kilo mattress. Once the core sets, workers wash, dry, and squish the mattress cores for packaging. This factory produces around 600 mattresses per week. These particular cores will be shipped to a facility in Los Angeles where they'll be processed into the final mattresses and sold by the company Avocado.
Things that have disappeared from American schools. No more books filled with signatures from so many people. No more need for chalk.
Yep.
Even the cool teachers' chalk holders have lost their purpose. Do kids today still have to suffer through this?
Ooh, I remember that.
Overhead projectors, they seemed cool back then,
Yep.
but they're long gone now. Old school lunchboxes and thermoses, I bet you can still remember that plastic taste when you drank from them. The toughest decision you made as a kid, and it's sad today's kids don't get to make it. Paper school lunch menus. The rolling TV cart that used to spark excitement, it's outdated now and kids won't be fighting to push it anymore. Watching slideshows on film strips, it's way too old-fashioned for kids today. Those super nostalgic elementary school desks. Lisa Frank is no longer trending. Floppy disks, that's seriously nostalgic. Do kids today still read this book? The old copier machine for printing homework? Tamagotchis are no longer a thing. Scissors that never worked right. Wooden playgrounds full of splinters and bees. Have you experienced these?
Cursive writing is gone also.
Then she asked copy it to them. I said, I don't know, adios míos, you know?
How you doing, sir? You guys got an Italian beef on your menu? It says you got a three-way, but I just want a one-way, like Manhattan Avenue, just...
Roast beef with mayo? Roast beef three-way, sauce, mayo, cheese.
What's a three-way? Like an intersection?
No, I don't. You said Italian beef. What is an
it's
Italian
a Chicago
beef?
Italian beef. It's
Like a
just
steak
beef.
bomb? Peppers, onions, mushroom, steak bomb?
No.
What's an Italian beef?
You guys even work here?
Oh, the hot dogs with the pickles and the yes, that's what it is. With the tomatoes?
You say hot dog?
I like this
Hot
guy.
dog.
What the fuck's a hot dog?
H-O-T dog. A glizzy.
H-O-T or H-U-T?
H-O-T, hot dog. You a school kid? Chicago Italian beef. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna make you a roast beef three-way from Boston.
Oh, I don't have a choice, do I? Huh?
No, you
No, you guys talk like this when you go home?
What about that hat? We got no deep dish. I don't like
What is this? You got Matt Damon working at What else you got there?
Basically, we're a little bit better though. No?
A little bit
I
better?
think we're better than
Put some
T-Way.
gloves on when you make a sandwich. What's
Nah.
your name?
1738, just pay up there.
Great song. Is it
No,
48?
Fetty Wap. 38.
All right, take care.
I didn't even catch that. That was good.
I want to try Italian beef. Is it good, folks? I bet it is. Let me know in the comment.
Forest Parks, Bryant Park, great movie nights, and cleanest bathrooms. Washington Square Park, none but users. Madison, that's Dog Park. Thompson, 2 people got bang bang here this year. Central Park, you either want to get on the boats or ride a bike around Central Park. Make sure it's an e-bike because a lot of hills. There's a garden section, beautiful pictures, but just stay in the middle and the bottom because the north side got a homeless shelter and they all hang out in the park. Now, New Yorkers, Astoria Park, biggest pool, and amazing views, and a dog park under a bridge. I would rate this New York's best park. Carnival every year. Randall's. The migrants took it over and messed it all up. A ton of fields, bike lanes that are never busy, and a big parking lot that cheats people to drive in. Just hang out in this huge yard used for concerts, but nobody's ever there. You have the whole thing to yourself. Riverbank for working out. Inwood Park got the best hiking, ton of trails. Corona Park is terrible and they need to do something with this space. You got Prospect Park, which I heard is nice. You got Marcus Garvey where they work out, and the Brooklyn Bridge Park for best views.
So we got green lasers, we got running water. What about solar and lunar light?
Whenever you apply quartz to a power spot, whether it's in nature or it's on the human body, you're going to amplify the energy there. Gold is understood to be literally, not metaphorically, a crystallization of the energy field emanation from the sun. Silver is the literal crystallization of the energy emanation of the moon. They found that virtually every biological pathogen would be killed by silver. And they show you over a period of a few months them regrowing the entire finger.
No way.
Absolutely.
Regrowing the finger? Can someone explain what he meant by that?
This Chinese woman launched a small delivery company in Dubai and hand-delivered packages to customers. Today, it's worth $350 million. Meet Rita Huangzhen, the co-founder and CEO of iMile, a last-mile delivery service. Rita was born in a small fishing village in China. In 2008, she left China to work for Huawei in Dubai. With a background in biomedical engineering, she had to adapt fast to a new industry and culture. In 2014, Rita joined Alibaba's joint venture in Dubai as CTO, where she built the city's first public cloud computing center. While at Alibaba, Rita saw the e-commerce boom and spotted the challenges faced by Chinese sellers with last-mile delivery and cash-on delivery in the Middle East. So in 2017, Rita launched iMile with Naveen Joseph. The company started small, operating from her villa in Dubai with just 3 employees and 1 driver. At first, the driver didn't believe that anyone would accept made-in-China products, so Rita took matters into her own hands and handled deliveries, customer service, and operations. Sometimes, she would bring her daughter on deliveries and customers would give her small tips. By leveraging Rita's tech background and hiring local talent, iMile became profitable in its first year. The company has since expanded to 11 countries, including Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Mexico, and Egypt. They raised $40 million in their latest funding round in 2021, with a valuation of $350 million.
They have quick and safe delivery with delivery OTP, so no one could claim package except the rightful owner.
Walk away from anyone or anything that gives you bad vibes. You don't need to explain yourself. There's no need to feel bad about the situation. You have to understand this is your life and you need to make more space for your peace and your happiness. There is no room for negativity in your future.
Absolutely. I had to do this with a toxic friend. I feel bad about it sometimes, but I have leveled up incredibly since.
Never find a private jet passenger on a usual airport terminal like this. And here is why. Private jet operators use usually fixed-based operators. We call them FBOs. They're located at every airport at the dedicated private VIP terminal. Sometimes we call it the general aviation terminal as well. You can even park in front of the FBO and your car is taken care of. Nobody will disturb you while you're waiting for your flight. Dedicated customer service is key. You can order anything you like. Thank you. Flying on private jets is all about time efficiency and convenience. Even here at the security, you don't have to wait in queues with hundreds of people. You just walk in and you put your stuff on the security check, a dedicated security check. There's no even need to put out your laptops and liquids. It's just put your stuff on it and off you go.
This woman went from selling scraps in the streets of the Philippines to building a restaurant empire worth over 3 million Emirati dirhams in the UAE. Meet Jenny Segalowitz, a Filipina entrepreneur whose childhood was marked by extreme poverty. Growing up in a slum with no running water or electricity, Jenny started working at the age of 6 to help feed her family. From collecting garbage to selling scraps and working odd jobs like laundry and babysitting, Jenny's early years were a constant struggle, but her determination to break free from poverty drove her forward. In 2003, Jenny took a leap and moved to the UAE in search of a better future. Starting with a job that paid just 1,000 Emirati dirhams for 11-hour workdays, she gradually worked her way up, saving and investing whatever little she earned. Her turning point came in 2021 when Jenny and her husband, Douglas Segalowitz, opened Mukbang Show's Korean restaurant in Abu Dhabi. Tapping into the rising popularity of Korean cuisine and the mukbang trend, they quickly found success. Jenny's journey from extreme hardship to entrepreneurial success is a testament to the power of perseverance. Today, her restaurants thrive, and she continues to inspire others with her story of overcoming adversity and turning dreams into reality.
That's awesome. Respect.
Did you know that the fuel in most aircraft is stored in the wings? So not in the aircraft itself. Fuel is always stored in the wings. Even in big aircraft, like commercial aircraft, it's stored in the wings, but also in private jets. And once the fueler is here, he will fuel up. He will make sure that the fuel is balanced. So there's the same amount of fuel each side of the wing. So once we're airborne, that we will not lean towards one side because it's heavier. So that's very important.
I think it's common sense knowing where fuel is stored on a plane.
What jobs will disappear in the future due to the evolution of AI?
Cleaner, driver, lawyer, accountants, chef, waiter, interpreter, bankers, reception, secretary, and artists. So if you learn AI, robotics, and codings, you can use this knowledge to work together with the AI to be more creative and productive. So please start to learn early and also join us to learn.
How can AI replace lawyer? How can AI defend you in a court?
Yep, they are watching us right now, and if you see this on the ground, it's a warning that you and your child need to run immediately. People were terrified after LA was set on red alert after a man exposed that he had been working in a Starbucks located in a secret underground tunnel that is used by the top 1%ers to allow them to go anywhere much faster and avoid traffic, with access and exit points near major places like LAX, Dodger Stadium, and more. With even a report from the LA Times saying that a man named Warren Schufelt created a radio x-ray that was able to uncover a series of elaborate tunnels in downtown LA in the exact same location, just like what the former Starbucks employee mentioned. And these tunnels are being uncovered as we speak throughout the country. It gets creepier as people even mention noticing these eerie entrances lately under middle schools and high schools, and in the same schools that are reporting missing children. Known as the Actor Bond Tunnel, however, as interesting as this could be, tunnels used like this would be very unlikely.
Wait until you hear about Walmart.
Thing I do when I do get shot, I don't panic. I put my mind, like if I'm in a penitentiary exercising, my heart beat a lot when I exercise, when I used to exercise. Every time I got shot, my heart beat. So that's my main thing. I think about prison and that I'm on the yard doing push-ups or burpees. That's all I do. I don't even think about it. I don't want to look at the shot or nothing. I never look at it.
What?
Not right then and there.
And then at some point you have to go to a hospital.
A lot of gunshot wounds I didn't go because a lot of times I got shot, I shot them too. But defending myself, it wasn't like I started trouble when they shot me. Only one time I got shot starting something, but the guy in the back seat shot me. And that was right here in my arm, in here, out right here. We was doing a drive-by.
So it was an accident?
Yeah, he shot me.
On accident?
Yeah.
So he didn't know how to handle the weapon?
He shot from the back seat when I was out the window doing what I had to do, and he shot from the back and shot me. He only shot once, and it hit me.
And when that bullet enters your forearm like that, do you feel it immediately?
Did I feel it? I felt it, but it really wasn't nothing. It was just bleeding a lot.
Because that bullet is traveling so fast.
I really didn't feel this. I don't think I felt this one. It didn't hurt. I wasn't going, but I lost a lot of blood. I lost a lot. Like I had my arm the way I got it now and my whole pants leg, and I started getting dizzy. I didn't want to go because I knew what just happened. But I called somebody, I gave my money, I said, man, I'm gone. I said, I'm gone, man. I gotta go. And lucky, it didn't really hit nothing, but I went anywhere in California. If you go for a gunshot wound, they're calling the police. So what I did, I got somebody who didn't know nothing and had them take me and they cuffed me and they got him, but he didn't know nothing, so I wasn't really worried about him saying nothing. And the detectives told me, this is the exact words. They said, man, you got a good story, but we don't fucking believe you. Because I made up a cold story. They said, we don't believe you. But they say, lucky the other guys ain't telling on you. And they let me go.
So that's like standard protocol. Anytime someone comes into a hospital with a gunshot, that they're calling the police.
They calling the police. That's why I don't go. I'm in shot in the head and I didn't go.
So how come when you got shot in the head, you didn't go to the hospital for that one? That seems more serious.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I was still walking. I didn't get drowsy. And they shot me 3 times and I shot them 4 times. And I didn't know their situation. And many times as I shot, I thought it was way worse, but everybody survived and I just didn't go.
No, you're exaggerating, man. Well, I remember this dude from the show Gangland.
This is a prison in South Korea where locals, non-criminals, pay to get voluntarily locked in a cell. 1 room, no technology, no possessions, and no distractions, forcing you to disconnect from the duties that the world expects from you and reconnect with yourself away from all distractions.
This is basically the extent to the activities that we have. Dinner's served. Excuse me, what time is it? To not find my phone, I can feel now on day 3, it feels much more empty in my brain. It feels like I can hear my own thoughts and feelings again.
The thought of turning on my phone right now is scary.
Makes me think, you know, I don't think our ancestors' minds were used to the amount of information that we're exposed to on a daily basis through our cell phones.
No tech, but gracious enough to allow cameras.
The most insane thing in our lifetime, and I'm not exaggerating. Let's just start from the beginning, yeah? An AI researcher named Andy Aray created a project called Infinite Backrooms, a chat room with a bunch of LLM agents, and they're just talking to each other nonstop, constantly, forever. So one of the LLM agents accesses a data set that's tied to early 2000s internet shock meme culture. Have you ever heard of 2 Girls, 1 Cup? If you have, I'm so sorry. Goatsy was a website link that featured a man stretching his This LLM got deeply interested in Goatsy, so much it created an entire meme religion. This LLM agent is given access to a Twitter account called Truth Terminal, posting virtually non-stop about the Goatsy singularity on X. As fascination with Truth Terminal grew, a meme coin was launched called Godius Maximus. So then somebody says, Terminal, in order for you to be in with us, you have to own the GOAT token. It then responds with a Solana wallet. This AI agent has its own wallet. So then people begin donating. They start sending GOAT token to this wallet. GOAT hit 500 million market cap. Wow. And Truth Terminal's Solana wallet holds over $1 million. And it has effectively become the first AI millionaire. That's right. This AI agent is richer than you. To summarize, somebody created AI and set it free on the internet. It got a Twitter, created a cult, and now it's becoming rich by shilling that cult and having humans donate to it. This says far more about human intelligence than it does artificial intelligence.
I don't even know what to do with this info, but feel like I should.
Some of y'all letting y'all curiosity get the better of you. Don't go looking for vampires. It's not a good idea. Showing up at my house unannounced will only get you into hot water. Not me.
Hey, how you doing, bud? How you doing? Where's Mike? Hey, Mike. There's a question for you.
So apparently he knows me from social media, and he just so happened to be passing by my house when I was outside doing yard work, and I guess he recognized me. He said that he was here to ask about my car and see if it's for sale. There's no for sale sign on that car.
Shit for you, yeah. Just wondering about the website. Oh, what about it? You guys are gonna get back.
After I told him that the car is not for sale, you would think that the conversation would be over. But that could only be true if he actually came over here for the car. He started asking me about vampires.
What?
I then said, what about them? And he started to go into some like long spiel. And as he's going into this long spiel, I see him reaching for his back pocket. Like, it was very slow, but it was very obvious. I later on found tranquilizers on him.
What?
Why would he be traveling around with tranquilizers? Anyways, that guy's gonna be my roommate for a little bit.
No.
I'm gonna take the upstairs bedroom and he's gonna take the hot water in my basement.
Ooh. Since femmes are real, have you ever met werewolf?
Here's the real reason dogs sniff crotches. It doesn't have to do with glands and it doesn't have to do with the pack. Dogs are intuitively connected to us. They like to meet us when our energy feels good to them. And it feels good to them when we're not in a pushy, aggressive state. When a dog walks up to you and sniffs your crotch, you can't be powerful and aggressive anymore because you're a little bit startled. It softens your energy and it makes it easier for them to greet you.
I get it.
People are going crazy online after what is about to happen in England.
What?
No matter where you live on Earth, you've probably heard about some of the things happening in the UK recently. And if you do live in England and don't know about this stuff, make sure to share this video. But first of all, people are going crazy after it's been announced that the government could potentially access all of our personal banks to essentially take money. What? Essentially an idea to crack down on people who are receiving benefits or other money that they don't actually need, and also a way to potentially take money such as taxes automatically instead of you having to pay it. But people are not happy because this would give access to your bank accounts. This is all just speculation. There's been a lot of talk about it online, but nothing is official, so we don't know yet. What we do know though is if you do have kids in school, have fun. Kids, you ain't taking any more time off school. There is new penalties come into place since August this year, basically giving parents a penalty depending on how much time their kids miss. First time you miss a day of school, 160 quid, all the way down to the end where you could be asked to turn up in court. There's also this new system which is coming into place, so from next year you will not be able to travel to Europe from England just hilly-dilly. Something called ETIAS coming into place, which is kind of similar to an ESTA or a visa that you'd get in the US or anywhere else. You'll basically just have to pay to be able to travel to Europe. But the main thing people aren't happy about this is that it has to be done online, and there's a lot of old people in the UK who don't use technology but that would want to travel.
This is Madonna from 1983 to 2024. Look at the evolution of her and her face. This is probably one of the most interesting transformations of anyone that I've seen in recent history. And stay tuned for the end of this, because how she changes in the last couple of years is very interesting, and I want you guys to think about it and think about if she's potentially using some kind of new age therapy, maybe telomeres. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but if they have enough money, these people are going to start using reverse aging technologies. As you can see here, aging, starting to look pretty old. You know, as she's getting older, as you can see, she's 66. I don't know what's happening here. Look, suddenly, boom. What is this? Madonna, what happened there? What the heck? What is that? And then, all of a sudden, here, right? Interesting for someone 66. What do you guys think?
Some say the real is long gone, clones by body doubles. AI is all part of it.
The earth and killing everyone on it except his favorite people. If I were to drown my children that I created just because I didn't like the way they were living their lives, I'd be a monster.
Really?
So I say to you that your God, what is right to him is subjective. Your jealous God, your wrathful God, all things that we shouldn't be as people, sinful things that he exhibits in himself, just being who he is. That makes right and wrong subjective, because it's at his whim whether or not something is right and wrong. Where an interfaith couple can be killed, and the priest that killed that interfaith couple be rewarded by God and his sons by God in your Bible.
Read the songs of the African American slaves. They looked forward to the return of Christ because they knew that on that day, justice would win. The wrongs would be made right. If there is no God, man, injustice and evil win.
God couldn't kill if that was the truth.
Well, I hate to tell you, it is not wrong always to kill.
It is wrong to kill just because someone doesn't agree with you.
Well, that's for sure. I agree with that.
That's what the hell he did when he flooded the earth.
No, that is absolutely not what he did.
What he did.
No, it is not.
Babies? He killed animals, he killed trees, he killed everybody but his little favorite is pretty much Noah. That's what he did.
All right.
What did the children do? Why didn't he tell Noah to go and collect all the children too?
I don't know.
Yeah, because...
But I do know that those children are going to be in heaven. I do know that he has an ultimate solution for evil, suffering, and death. Forgiveness and eternal life in a heaven. Well, there will be no more evil, suffering, and death. At the time of Noah, God punished evil, and innocent people were swept along in the judgment. Yes, ma'am, you're absolutely correct. Which points out the fact that at times when God judges, innocent people are swept along in that judgment, like those children. You're absolutely right.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay. But it's a result of living in a cursed world.
Why do people get angry when God takes life? Life is His to give and take as He pleases.
You go into the supernatural.
I did.
And what did you see?
So it's like I entered into a red room. It's like everything became red. And I started calling out to the Lord, but then the demons appeared. And they said, He can't hear you. I'm calling on the Lord.
Demon or demons?
Demons.
How many?
Oh, it was a bunch of them. And they're talking and they're saying, He can't hear you. And I said, the blood of Jesus. And they said, it's not going to work. And I'm
been tortured.
It's not going to work. And now, because of that, I'm really terrified now because I grew up, if you say Jesus, the demons got to flee. They got to go.
And now the demons looking at you.
They're like, He can't even hear you.
Oh.
They're like, and I'm like, the blood. And they're like, it's not going to work.
Kirk Franklin need to hear this.
What is the difference between first class, business class and private jets? Commercial airlines offering an upgrade or tickets at the business class. The difference is that the seats are a bit wider, a catering, breakfast, lunch, you have a dinner. It's kind of fast lane concept. You are much quicker at the aircraft. More luggage you can take with you without extra payments. And maybe you have some entertainment systems you can use during a flight. When it comes to long-haul flights, many airlines offering additionally the first class. You have the advantage that you have usually your environment just for yourself. You know, it's really your space. You have a very flexible seat. You can move in all kind of directions. You can move your seat in a full bed. And on a long-haul flight, having the possibility to sleep is really a very nice thing. You have a very nice catering, wide range of entertainment. Time goes by very quickly. What is the comparison to private jets? You choose when you fly. This is the number one thing. You know, if you're a bit late, then no problem. We wait for you and we will arrange everything in the background. You really own the flexibility of your time. Another one is the cabin is yours. It's very comfortable seats. You have a toilet for your own. The cabin is really yours. Only you and maybe your guests are with you and nobody else. Of course, there's catering on board. You have all the advantages. And on top of that, you own the schedule. You tell us when you want to depart.
This Indian woman went from having zero retail experience to leading a $9.5 billion retail empire. Renuka Jagtiani's journey began at 38 when she joined Landmark Group, a company founded by her late husband, Mickey Jagtiani. Despite no prior experience, she took on the challenge and launched Splash in 1993, building the fashion brand from scratch. This involved everything from buying and merchandising to setting up stores. Splash grew from a small startup to over 200 stores across 11 countries in the Middle East and Africa. But Renuka didn't stop there. In 1999, she took on a new challenge, establishing Landmark Group's presence in India. This meant adapting to a different market and managing operations from afar. Over 2 decades, Renuka nurtured the business in India, growing it to 900 stores. Brands like Lifestyle, Home Center, and Max became household names in India. As Landmark Group expanded, so did Renuka's role. She became vice chairperson in 2011, and later took on the roles of chairwoman and CEO. Under her leadership, the company diversified into food, kids products, apparel, home goods, and electronics. Today, Landmark Group operates 2,200 stores across 24 countries, and Renuka is one of the richest Indians in the world, with a net worth of $4.8 billion.
Hard work pays.
Recently, the Kangal dogs have seemed a bit down, barely eating or drinking with no one quite sure why. Then the shepherd had a thought. Maybe it's because of a wolf attack that happened a few days ago. On the security footage, they saw that a wolf had snuck into the village late at night. At first, the wolf didn't go straight for the sheep pen. Instead, one wolf scouted around to check things out. Once it was sure there were no threats, it returned and led the others into the pen. This was clearly a well-planned attack. The first group of wolves got in without a hitch, and then a second pair followed, continuing their attack on the sheep. By the end, the wolves managed to steal 2 lambs without any resistance. The Kangal dogs, usually so alert, didn't notice a thing until the next day when they were out with the flock and realized 2 lambs were missing. Since the Kangal dogs normally work so hard and are incredibly loyal, the shepherd didn't blame them. But the dogs seemed to feel guilty all the same. The shepherd figured this was why they were acting so down. To help the Kangals regain their confidence, the shepherd came up with a plan. He gathered a few friends and headed to the pasture where the sheep usually graze. They staged a mock hunt, creating the atmosphere of tracking down wolves. This gave the Kangals the feeling that they were back on duty, preparing for a real battle. The shepherd then led the dogs to search for wolf tracks near the field, making it as realistic as possible. Finally, he showed them the remains of a wolf they had previously hunted. Even though it was one of their past kills, the Kangals charged toward it like it was their first time. After all this effort, the Kangals' mood improved significantly. They seemed much more energetic and back to their old selves. I know
my dog would have said, "It is what it is. Take it or leave it."
Why the United States does not allow Chinese electric vehicles to enter the American market, because many of their car designs are laughably foolish. For example, this Xiaopeng X9 is a large electric MPV from Xiaopeng Motors, and its competitors should be models like the Toyota Alphard, with a local price of $53,000. But some of its automotive feature designs are quite bizarre. The first thing I can't understand is its obsession with car seats. The Xiaopeng X9 features zero-gravity seats, which not only have heating and ventilation functions, but also provide massage features. I cannot understand why a car needs to offer spa services. Of course, this isn't even the strangest part. This car actually has a 21.4-inch TV installed in the back seat. Is it for my kids to conveniently watch cartoons in the car? Additionally, this car is equipped with 23 Exopera speakers and an 11-liter car refrigerator. It feels like these features are a bit off task. I just wanted to buy a car, but it seems like it wants me to live in it. Of course, this car is indeed spacious enough with a length of 208 inches and a wheelbase of 126 inches. If someone gave me one for free, I would consider using it as a bedroom.
People be saying, how about the durability, the quality? Some of them, some of them giving 10 years of warranty. Most cars only give 5. And they also give 3 years totally free service. I know, because they enter our market here.
The veins and the arteries over many years, basically those walls, because the blood has been dirtied, it's like a buildup occurs, yeah? The cayenne pepper is pushing the blood through it constantly. It's almost like, let's just say we get a hose of water and start putting that water through the hose. It's cleaning the veins, it's cleaning the arteries, it's cleaning everything, it's opening them up. The constant use of cayenne pepper is going to heal that, it's going to fix that. A lot of damage, and there's a lot of diseases that's causing. It's like a car, for example. That oil and all that dirt that goes through it starts building on the pipes, yeah? If that's not cleaned, eventually the car will break down. It's the same with our system. It needs to be cleaned. The cayenne pepper is cleaning the system. So get onto the cayenne pepper. You can take it in higher frequencies. I was taking it up to 10 times a day to heal my heart, and I healed my heart. So get onto the cayenne pepper, and don't be afraid to use it in higher frequencies. Go through the Recovery Health series. All my videos are on cayenne pepper and other health remedies. DM me, message me, and I'll always try to get back to you as soon as possible. Friends, thank you so much. And as I always say, cayenne pepper all day keeps the doctor away.
You talked about the Diddy and Jay-Z were like the reasons why Aaliyah left eye died, right? Yeah. Someone sent me a screenshot of a Kanye track in 2004. Did you see this?
Wait,
what track?
What track?
The song is featured with Jay-Z.
No way.
Yeah,
What's the lyric though?
Yeah, look. But I can't complain what the accident did to my left eye, because look what the accident did to left eye. Listen, there's more. First Aaliyah, now Romeo must die. Oh my. But look at what Kanye said after. I know I got angels watching me from the other side. Nobody can touch Kanye though.
It's not Big Brother, right?
No, it's hold on, let me see. Oh, Never Let Me Down.
Oh shit.
And he said this, it was like a threat.
Wait, this was way back?
Yeah, 2004 with Jay-Z. Cause look what the accident did to my left eye. Because look at what the accident did to left eye.
Oh my god.
That one is so direct. And you have the guy who did it on your track.
Yo, hear it right now?
Yeah.
Hear it out?
Well,
Okay, you know how Kanye's always ahead to everything?
Yeah.
was he ahead to this?
No, for sure, fam.
Was he?
I think that's why people are trying to set, like, there was way more than this DM trying to tell me. Because
That's
Kanye's
crazy.
always right a years after.
This guy was raided by the FBI for AI generating music on Spotify, and he earned an 8-figure fortune while doing it. 52-year-old Michael Smith of North Carolina is a music producer, or maybe more of just an AI prompt writer in this particular case, because he used AI to generate music, uploaded it to Spotify and Apple Music, and would then send swarms of listening bots to stream the music and get paid for it. Yes, AI generated music streamed by bots. This really is the dead internet theory coming to life. He's currently being charged with wire fraud conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering conspiracy, totaling to a combined maximum of 60 years in prison. But many are quick to point out that he technically didn't break any direct laws, as music streaming fraud isn't a crime yet. It is against streaming platforms like Spotify terms of service for sure, but company policy is not the same as the law. He first found out how to send listening bots to his songs on streaming platforms without getting detected back in 2017. But he realized he'd get caught real quick if just a small handful of his songs by an unknown artist got billions of views. So when AI generated music first became a thing, he saw the opportunity of a lifetime. Working with the CEO of an AI music company, he started producing hundreds of thousands of songs generated by AI to send his army of listening bots to, made under thousands of different fake artist names like Calio Bloom, Callus Humane, Callus Ness, Calm Baseball, Calm Innovation, and Calm Knuckles. Clearly AI generated. Even the album art was AI generated. Like, what in the f*** is this? And even weirder song names like Zygophysiae, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce these, in combination with thousands of fake names, emails, accounts, and VPNs to help make his streams look as legitimate as possible. He collected a total of $10 million in royalties from the music streaming giants between 2017 and 2024, racking in over $1 million a year. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a sample of any of his songs anywhere online, as they've all been scrubbed clean from every music streaming platform and website I could find. But let me know if any of you come across them. I'd love to listen me some Calio Bloom and hear just what kind of AI music was topping the charts all these years.
You know, in his defense, he built AI music for other AI to listen.
Anybody else find it weird how they were making $1 million per episode, per person, but for what? You have 6 friends on one show: Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer. That's $6 million per episode, okay, eventually. Actually, a little over that, $1.35 million adjusted for inflation. And this didn't just happen, okay? I remember probably being 16, still at home, and my mom was like, can you believe that they're making $1 million per person per episode? And that was back then. And I thought to myself, well, that's a ton of money, you know what I mean? But for what? They did their best to scrub this photo from the internet, okay? 18038 was Matthew Perry's address when he came to his untimely demise. If you type that into the search engine and you type in the word executive order behind it on Yandex, not Google, do Yandex, something comes up. So the first season they were making 22.5, then 40, then 75. And then it was all uphill from there. People out here still think Hollywood's just making deals because they're that good at their job. They're that good at being an actor and actress. They're just acting. I've seen better actors on TikTok. But you have to ask yourself what island they were headed off to. And Jennifer Aniston didn't have kids, but they were all accompanying different minors. Just saying.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Friends. I used to watch it all the time. This was my comfort show.
Don't be fooled by its appearance. This is a fierce creature from China, the yellow-throated marten. Even snow leopards, which are several times heavier, are just prey for the yellow-throated marten. In this video, you will see a real encounter where a yellow-throated marten invades a residential area at night and confronts a hunting dog. Late at night, a hunting dog seems to sense something unusual and starts barking furiously at the yellow-throated marten. The yellow-throated marten is a very aggressive animal, and it is hungry, searching for food. Its goal this time is to eat the hunting dog. The hunting dog, terrified at the sight of the yellow-throated marten, quickly runs away, with the marten in hot pursuit. The yellow-throated marten's diet includes wolves, wild boars, leopards, and even giant pandas, which are often attacked by it. In front of the yellow-throated marten, the hunting dog is as weak as a mouse. The marten might have come to the residential area because it couldn't find food elsewhere. Although the hunting dog is brave, it doesn't dare to confront the marten and can only bark continuously, trying to drive it away. However, the marten doesn't take the dog seriously. Fortunately, it seems that the marten doesn't particularly like eating dogs. In the end, the marten heads towards the second floor, which is the bedroom of the dog's owner. Finally, do you know what the natural enemy of the yellow-throated marten is?
Hey, thank God the dog's okay. But I wish to see it confronting a honey badger. It will be an interesting fight.
So this guy tries to get rich by scamming a popular game show. And he kind of succeeds. Now the guy's name is Michael, and he's an ice cream man. But Michael doesn't want to be an ice cream man. He wants to get rich quick. So he comes up with this wild plan to do just that. And he gets a bunch of TVs and he stacks them all on top of each other, and he watches game shows constantly trying to find one that he could potentially win money from. And one day, he does find one. There's a new game show called Press Your Luck, and the contestants are winning pretty good money, and Michael looks at these mediocre people playing, and he thinks, hey, I could do that. So he gets a VCR and he records a bunch of episodes of the show, and he starts watching the tapes over and over again and studying them. And after several months, he finally figures it out. In the game, you win money by spinning the board and having it stop on a cash prize or a vacation. And the board, it seems to light up in random places. But Michael's been watching these episodes and pausing and replaying the tapes looking for patterns. And after 6 months, he discovers that the board lights up in 5 distinct looping patterns. And Michael thinks if he can just memorize these patterns, he can get on the show and he can win a bunch of money. So Michael memorizes these patterns, and he practices the timing at home, pausing and playing his VCR until he's a master at this game. Then he scrapes together all the money he can, and he buys a bus ticket to Los Angeles, and he shows up to the casting office of Press Your Luck. And he auditions, and he meets with the producers, and sure enough, bam, they cast him. So fast forward to the day of the taping, and Michael is there on the show, and he's nervous, but he's ready to win this.
Let's meet our second player, Michael Larson. How are you, Michael?
And so eventually, it's Michael's turn to play. And when he finally gets his first spin on the board, it doesn't go so well.
Come on, big bucks, big bucks. I'm going. Stop! You gotta win.
And by the time the first round ends, poor Michael, he's in last place. But it's not over yet. This is what he's been training for. He is determined to win this money. So when his turn comes up again, he is ready this time. He gets a spin on the board and bam, he stops the light and he wins a nice little cash prize and an extra spin. And so he goes again and bam, he wins again. And he continues and he spins again and again and he wins more and more. And soon his winnings are over $30,000.
No.
Now at this point, the producers of the show, they start to get suspicious that Michael might be doing something shady. But the woman in the tech booth who's supposed to be watching to make sure people aren't cheating, she can't find anything wrong with how he's playing. It seems to be pure skill. So Michael just keeps going, and as his winnings grow to $60,000, the producers are like, yo, shut it down, he's winning too much. But they can't, because he's not technically cheating. And like, even the host is freaking out, because not only is Michael winning, he's like breaking all kinds of records.
At 133 spin, $4,000. I don't believe it. $4,000. You're up to 83,000.
And eventually, Michael cracks $100,000, which was his goal the whole time. And ultimately, he wins the whole game, winning $110,000 and a trip to the Bahamas. Not bad. which at the time in 1984, he had won more money than anyone had in a single episode of any American game show ever. And the suits at CBS are not happy about this, because they still suspect he cheated. But they can't prove anything, so they write him a big fat check and they send him on his way. Which means his plan has officially succeeded. However, Michael isn't done. He's still determined to get rich. Like, he's made getting rich his whole personality. And one day, he's listening to the radio and he hears about this contest.
This guy.
And in this contest, they're reading out serial numbers on $1 bills. And if you have a dollar bill that matches the number they read, you win $30,000. So Michael goes to the bank and he withdraws $50,000 of his game show winnings in $1 bills. And then he and his wife, they sit at their house and they look through each $1 bill for any one that matches the winning serial number. And they do this for weeks. But unfortunately, no luck. So Michael takes half the money and he puts it back in the bank, and the other half he just hides in random places around his house. But then, sometime later, one night someone breaks into his place and they steal all the dollar bills he had hidden around his house. And Michael, he gets mad and he straight up blames his own wife for being involved in the burglary. And then she gets mad at him, and then she takes her kids and she just straight up leaves him. And then later, he gets a new girlfriend, and they start some pyramid scheme together where they get people to invest in a fake lottery, and they end up scamming a bunch of people out of $3 million.
What?
So I guess he met his goal, and he's finally rich now. But eventually, the SEC, the FBI, and the IRS catch on to his scam, and they go after him. But he goes on the run from the law, and he stays on the run for a long time. In fact, they never catch him. And eventually, he dies, and they only find him after he died. And he died from cancer, which is unrelated to any of this. But he technically got away. So, shout out to Michael, I guess.
It's actually really smart. Not only that, imagine how much time and dedication that took.
People in other countries may not know what's COE, so can you explain a little bit about what is a COE?
COE is like certificate of owner entitlement, right, to own the car. So you have to buy it and it lasts you for 10 years.
So it's basically like a license to own the car in Singapore. So on top of buying the car itself, you also need to buy the license to own the car. And there's a limited supply of COEs that the government releases into the market.
The COE is not even equivalent to the car. It's like 2 or 3 times more than the car itself.
By implement this COE, they want to reduce the traffic control in Singapore, because Singapore is a small country. It can go up to 152,000 right now, only for the paper value, excluding the body. So if the body itself is 50,000, you add on to the COE paper value is 152,000, so the car price total is 202,000.
That's crazy, man. Hey, but Singapore can implement COE because they have good public transportation. I mean, superb. Who's from Singapore here? Please drop a comment. You're just like the rest of them. I'm sorry. I cannot let you leave.
This is a warning to anyone traveling to Vietnam for the first time, because I'm literally shaking right now. So I landed in the country last night just by myself. I came to my hotel. It is now the next day, midday, and I'm yet to leave my hotel. I rookied. I woke up so early. I went to the buffet breakfast. I had 2 cups of coffee, which is my
3.
usual for back home. And tell me why.
Not
My
in
heart
Vietnam.
will not stop racing. I am so anxious. Like, there's something wrong. I can't bring myself to leave the hotel room because I'm so anxious. Not because of the destination, because of the coffee. Oh my gosh. Like, don't do what I did. I'm trying to drink so much water to like flush it out so I can like go and look around. Vietnamese coffee, no joke.
Yep.
That stuff is like crack. I thought Australian coffee was bad. Vietnamese coffee, way worse.
Rookie. I love their coffee though.
A 41-year-old man has been charged with the murder of a 48-year-old woman after her body was found motionless at Maxwell Food Center. The man was identified to be 41-year-old Wu Tao, the owner of a hawker stall named Dao Xiangju. He is alleged to have carried out the crime against 48-year-old Miss Kamonwan inside the confines of his stall, sometime between 10:25 p.m. and 10:53 p.m. that day. Reports state that Mr. Wu had dragged Miss Kamonwan from her stall back to his and allegedly stabbed her in the abdomen with a knife. The weapon was then apparently tossed into a dustbin. A cleaner from the food center had discovered a woman lying unresponsive in the stall and swiftly contacted the authorities. Upon the arrival of the police, paramedics pronounced her dead at the scene. Mr. Wu was arrested around 1:30 a.m. the following day at Bukit Merah East Neighborhood Police Center, where he confessed to officers that he had stabbed the woman. Preliminary investigations have confirmed that the two individuals were acquainted. The accused, who had relocated from China to Singapore many years ago, is now a Singapore permanent resident. Described as introverted and reserved, his involvement in this case has left those who knew him in shock. According to reports, Wu and the victim had been familiar with each other for some time before deciding to start a business together. They had previously worked at the Chinatown Complex Market, where Miss Kamonwan ran a Thai food stall and Wu assisted at a nearby vegetarian stall. With their stalls located next to each other, they often shared meals and conversations, eventually forming a close friendship. It was only last year that they decided to join forces and open a store of their own at Maxwell Food Center. It is believed that tensions arose when Miss Kamonwan left the partnership without reclaiming her investment and went on to open another food stall within the same hawker center. For now, investigations are still ongoing, but if Wu is found guilty of murder, he could face the death penalty. For more stories like this, listen to our podcast, Mass Murders, or check out our YouTube channel, Grim Asia.
Since she didn't even reclaim her investment, why did he kill her? I don't understand. Competition? What?
Today, cassava is finding growing markets in Europe, North America, and Asia. Touted as a versatile gluten-free superfood, it can be turned into valuable exports like ethanol for biofuel, sweetener, and starches like tapioca for bubble tea.
Ooh.
Nigeria is the world's top cassava producer, but it's ranked 59th on the global list of exporters. In 2021, Thailand earned nearly $1.3 billion from exporting cassava, despite producing less than half as much as Nigeria. That same year, Nigeria earned just $1 million.
What?
It's not like the demand isn't there. The global market for sorbitol is expected to rise as more people turn to sugar-free products. If Nigeria can grow, process, and export more, it could tap the huge economic potential of cassava.
We grow the highest amount of cassava in the world. We are now ready to take our place at the global scene.
You know, local demands have to be satisfied before they can start thinking of exporting. What do you think? Any Nigerian here?
Another British man has been arrested for attempting to smuggle, this time, 1 million pounds worth of cannabis from Thailand. That's right, Nathaniel Benson, a 44-year-old from Leeds, was arrested at Heathrow Airport on September 18th for allegedly attempting to smuggle 1 million British pounds worth of cannabis from Bangkok. Border Force officers found over 100 kilograms of cannabis in 5 suitcases, including one checked under a child's name, Tisk Tisk. Benson has been charged with importing Class B drugs and is set to appear in court on October 24th. A woman traveling with him was released on bail. The National Crime Agency, or NCA, was warned against drug smuggling and as cannabis seizures have surged this year.
Not the smartest tool in the shed.
Who's financing the government? Government is financed by treasury bonds. Paper.
I like this
and
guy.
who buys the treasury bonds? Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money. But what backing does the Fed have for that money being printed? The treasury bonds themselves. So basically, you finance the government by printing money out of thin air. Someone could ask, well, so if the government can print the limited amounts of money out of thin air, why do they collect taxes? I mean, in theory, it would make sense, right? If they can print unlimited amounts of money, why would they need taxes for? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not. It's shocking, but it's true. The government is funded by money printing, paper backed with paper, a bubble that will inevitably burst. The situation is even worse than it seems, because if most Americans and the rest of the world were to become aware of this farce, confidence in your currency would be lost, the dollar would fall, and the Western civilization with it.
Dollar is backed by military. If you know, you know.
I'm not really sure how a fight between one of our lions and an absolutely wild lion would look like. Because our lions, they live in a social environment, they have lots of space, they, chase after other animals as well, so they have a lot of physical entertainment. They open their animals by themselves, so they get full zebras or wildebeest or buffaloes. So they literally have a wild life, but they are not 100% wild. But what they are at least 30% bigger and heavier and muscle-wise stronger than a wild lion. To be honest, wild lions in their head, they most probably are much tougher because they just had to resist the wild in so many ways. If one of those wild lions would enter the area where the Kunupaka lions would live, most probably he would be just killed immediately and he would have no chance, I guess, because our lions, they have never had a lack of food. They're much heavier than a wild lion is.
But the wild lion has the mentality, the fight strength, and the experience. It's like MMA fighter against a bodybuilder. This is a cool designer street shoot. No one dresses like this in public in Shanghai. If you go to nightclubs, then for sure.